Hey guys, welcome back to the Honestly Noted podcast. This is officially episode 3. Today I'm here with
Taylor Pollan.
All right. So, first off, how was your week?
Pretty good. Pretty busy, with school starting back up. A little bit different, a little bit weird, but, getting into the schedule.
That's awesome. I feel like scheduling now, like in September, is always so much more hectic than any time of the year.
Definitely. And I'm definitely starting a new job, so it's all just like a lot, but doing TCC has made it really easy. I work at Canterwood now, so I'm one of the main servers there. It's pretty cool because I don't have to work up since I have experience, but definitely very hectic and very high class there. I just attended a wedding, so it's a lot of work.
So, just saying she's a lot better than all of you guys.
No.
All right, well, that's awesome. I think we should just get right into it. Today's episode is going to be centered around lifestyle and career, your life 10 years from now. So, to start off, when we were kids, I feel like there were always like those 5 careers we heard about. Police officer, dentist, nurse. Did you have a specific career in mind as a kid?
Yeah, and it's sort of funny to talk about that because I originally wanted to be a singer like every fashionable little kid, and then my mom was a vet tech, so then I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Oh.
But as I got older, even like 4th and 5th grade, I wanted to go and be a cardiothoracic surgeon.
What?
Yeah, I was that kid.
I don't even know what that is now.
Heart surgeon.
Oh.
So, literally. I know, it's okay. Nobody knows because they hear that big word and it immediately like scares them off. But no, my grandpa has cardiomyopathy. So that originally was like the thing that I wanted to do. But now after realizing that 12 years of college is not what I want to do, I'm sort of steering away from that.
Wow, yeah, that's intense. To know that as an elementary student, though, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've always been very career-based. And I mean, I've always had focus on school, so that's something that I was excited for.
I remember as a kid, I had wanted to be an inventor, but not of anything, just of all things. It wasn't like Thomas Edison and something useful. It was just no, I want to be an inventor. I feel as a kid, we have these ideas and perceptions of career and lifestyle. How has that original wanting to be a cardiothoracic surgeon compared to what do you want to be now?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was the kid that went in during middle school and was like, I'm going to apply to college. I was that kid. So definitely after realizing the actuality that that's going to be really expensive and that's going to take up most of my life. And I do still want to be the kid that can have a family when they grow up and actually still be able to live life, live, laugh, love. I guess it's just sort of changed more with the fact of reality kicked in, expenses kicked in, activities kicked in, and realizing that, hey, maybe I won't be a singer or a veterinarian or cardiothoracic surgeon. But hey, maybe there's a way I can help people but still pursue my outside of career activities at the same time.
I love that. And what do you think that looks like for you now? What is a career you're thinking of?
So definitely something more still in the medical field. I want to do physical therapy. Something that I've definitely looked into is I wanted to enlist. I had the thought of even doing firefighting for a moment, but the hard part with that is I want to do something that's a little bit more, I can still have a family. So physical therapy, I'll be able to do veteran aftercare help. And then something that's cool is I can transfer it over into veterinary help and help animals as well. So I'm able to sort of help people, which was my main goal, and also help animals at the same time because I want to go into cardio stuff for both. Physical therapy for both.
Foreshadowing. That's awesome. When you say that you were interested in enlisting, do you mean enlisting and participating in the military or participating in the medical field?
Medical field in the military, but definitely enlisting as in going and being on base. Something that, yeah, in reality, would I genuinely be able to lift a full human being and help out when needed? There's no way.
I think now when I'm thinking of careers, I think it's become a lot more stressful because this is senior year. So when there are adults in your life asking you, what are you going to do for the next 4 years? Mm-hmm. Wow! I don't know. Eat, breathe, sleep.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully sleep.
Hopefully get some sleep. I think I've always desired a career in education, so involving working with kids in some sort. I really like working with youth, and I think there's a lot I can do developmentally and encourage them to act in the world. So that's a goal of mine, but I'm also very, very interested in pursuing a career involving like music or music technology. I just really have to see what's going on now, but who knows?
No, I think that's great. And something that's cool about that is, like I was talking about with physical therapy, you can find ways to connect it. I've seen a lot of people teaching for music technology and creating music electronically. So it's pretty cool to see as we get older, just even with the pressure, like trying to make sure that we're making everybody else happy, but also pursuing what we want to do at the exact same time.
I like that you brought that up, the idea of making other people happy, especially when it's regarding your lifestyle and your happiness. Because I feel like when we look at the world and the amount of careers and amount of opportunities for people now, there are so many jobs now that wouldn't have even existed 50 years ago. Like a social media influencer or anybody who runs social media, that was not a thing. Okay, you would either be like a doctor or a nurse or a teacher.
It's really cool to see stereotypes too.
Explain that.
Well, it's amazing to see just how women are sort of viewed in today's society as well. Just job pay and things like that. Women were seen as to be at the house and be at the kitchen, which that may not be everybody's choice, but other people may want that. Versus now, there's less stereotypical, okay, well, you're a woman, so you have to do this feminine job or that feminine job, or you have to stay at home. Which I think is like, it gives you so many different opportunities, race as well, like everything has changed, which is really, really cool to see.
For sure. Yeah, it's incredibly progressive. I think the equal pay is something we're still currently working on.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting when we bring it back to lifestyle, happiness, and pleasing other people, fulfilling other people's expectations of what happiness is. It's interesting because now, if you look at families today, modern families, a lot of them are working on establishing their careers before they even start settling down or having a family. So there's no longer that idea. Do you remember that idea of 30?
Mm-mm.
Well, it's at 30. It used to be that milestone, like, okay, I have a family, I have a career, and that's it. Like, I'm sticking with it. So that was kind of the definition of settlement. And people are moving beyond that. Like, no, I'm gonna stick with my career, and maybe I'll settle down later. Or redefining settlement.
I think it's really cool. Something that I've seen is my older friend got married earlier this year. And also seeing as well that like some people are choosing not to have kids, which that would have been something that's really frowned upon. Like you said, 50 years ago, that's something that you look at it and that's sort of expected.
Yes.
Like you're expected to be with somebody, expected to have kids, expected this, expected that. But I mean, she's waiting, and that to me is like so exciting. She's focusing on her career and sort of finding out what you need to put first for yourself is absolutely great.
All right. So while talking about lifestyle and 10 years from now, do you think, it's kind of a more personal question, but do you think you'd be interested in raising a family?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hope to have boys.
Okay.
I originally was the kid that was like, I want girls to dress up and do all that. But I think as I've gotten a little bit more mature and realizing what I like truly want, I want to be able to raise rowdy boys that can grow up and have like a different lifestyle than, I don't know, I really enjoy the way my parents raised me, but some things I would have done differently. And I sort of want to like fit those needs in a different way, if that makes any sense.
Interesting. I think I get that. So when raising this family, how many boys would you have? And is there anything from your current family dynamic that you would include or incorporate or maybe add on to?
Yeah, definitely. So I am the type of person that I think I could only handle 2 kids, I'm going to be honest. I think after a little while, I would want to put my head through a wall.
Yeah.
Just because I want to be able to have my own life and not have to be like, okay, I'm going to pay you $170 to come and babysit my boys for the night. Yeah. By the way, there's 4 of them. Good luck. Wow. I don't want to have to do that. I've babysat like that before and it's awful. So I never want to put anybody in that position. But I don't know. For me, like growing up lifestyle-wise, I definitely want to include something that my parents have been really great about. Going out and doing fun things is like a big part of my family. We go on trips, we go outdoors. So being able to go out and go fishing and go hunting and doing all that, which I haven't gone hunting yet, but I plan to. I want to include that in my lifestyle. I also want to include a lot of like outdoor activities. The reason for that is it's really good for your health, just mentally. Just being able to sort of have like that away from reality time, I think is a really important big part of my life, and I want to incorporate that. One thing I think I would do a little bit differently, and it's sort of like a controversial thing with families, is I would not have screen time for my kids.
I get that.
Like, genuinely, I've thought a lot about it, and I think that it would be like, okay, we can have like a movie a week thing, but just watching like families grow up and having that disconnect just because of phones. I feel like kids, if you attach them so little, they just grow and develop in a household that's like really focused on that. And I'd rather have kids that want to go ahead and they're like, hey mom, I want to go do this with you, versus hey mom, can I have 5 more minutes? I want that thought of like, hey, let's go do this for 5 minutes instead of let's sit inside in the house. When they're so little, they're not mature enough to understand like the genuine bad habit that it's creating.
For sure.
So I don't know, something weird to think about, but it's definitely something I feel like I would incorporate in my family and in my home.
Yeah, but I love the idea that you brought up of not introducing kids to screens early on, because I feel like a lot of teenagers are aware of the fact that like social media and technology has just been increasingly growing, and it's really just not going to stop. There are kids who were born in 2012 and who were born when Instagram was a thing, when Facebook was a thing, already fully developed, when Snapchat was a thing. But people who were born in the 2005 and 2006 era, like us, we were being born right when Instagram was becoming a thing. Facebook was just starting. We were there when iPhones were being introduced. That was us. So the idea that there's faster and more progressive technology out there and kids are being immediately like shoved into that world, that is terrifying.
Yeah, it's weird to think that I was the kid that had like the little watch that you'd press the button once, it would call mom, press it twice, it would call dad. That was my first phone. Versus now, I'm not even joking when I say I met a kid who is literally 6 years old and has a newer cell phone than I do.
I think when raising my family, some of the traditions I'd want to include, or like parts of my family dynamic now, are probably that we do this weird thing for birthdays, and there's 2 things we do. One, we used to decorate the doors of whoever's birthday it was, and so we would decorate their bedroom door. And I remember having that done to me as a child, and it was so cool because what we do is like we put signs up, we put a bunch of streamers and balloons.
I love that so much. That is so sweet.
It's super cute, and it looks like a college dorm, because when you go to college and you look at the dorms outside of it, it's all kinds of pictures and everything, because it's just like it's supposed to be decked out. And so it just reminds me of like modern college dorms, like the outside of their doors.
Yeah.
And the point was like there was one time they strung streamers from one side of the door to the other, and they covered it so that when I opened the door, I would run into all of the streamers.
Oh, I love that.
It's just a super cute thing. And as we grew older, we just kind of stopped doing it, but I continued to keep doing it. So I would like go out and get like birthday supplies and decorate people's doors, and it was always a really cool thing though, because there were times where like we didn't have enough balloons, so I would like make a paper balloon as a kid or something.
No, I love that.
Or I couldn't blow up a balloon, so I just taped the balloons on the door.
That's so sweet though, and like seeing the effort that was put in. I know for me, mine was a little bit different. I share a birthday with my mom.
Oh, that's cool.
I was born on her birthday, and my brothers share a birthday, so birthdays for us are a little bit different. So for me, I guess I always just like wanted to be exactly what my mom wanted to be. No matter what she says, that's always been true. I've always looked up to her. And something that I saw is she got to do big girl things. She got to go get her nails done. So when I was younger, that was something that I really looked forward to, is like we go get our nails done on our birthday. Or we go ride horses together. Things that are sort of non-traditional.
It's awesome.
But that's also just because I was like such a farmer type girl. Like I was very redneck to say the least.
Nice.
To be honest.
Okay.
So my birthdays were always like going and doing something. So if I got opportunities to, I definitely will say that's something that I want to carry on, is just having, like, if I do have a daughter, having a girl day, or doing what I used to do with my dad, and we'd go out and we'd find something fun to do. Like we'd go to the shooting range and go shooting together for birthdays.
Sick. That's awesome.
Which is sort of controversial for a kid, but I loved it.
Yeah.
And he would get me the little cookies, like the granny ones that come in the bags.
Yeah.
He would get me that, and then he'd get me a Gatorade. And I remember him putting on a Carhartt beanie over my head. I had polka dot boots and cat socks on every single time.
Nice.
And then my earmuffs. But like things like that, it's little things that I remember more.
Yeah, the traditions.
Versus I didn't have like a set tradition, but I think that's also because my parents were always working when I was younger. But as I've gotten older, I definitely have seen like the traditions that we've sort of put in, going out and doing fun things for our birthdays. That's something I definitely want to pass down. So something that's like really personal and sweet. And so like I want to incorporate that. Like that was really special to me, and I remember that a lot.
I love that. Yeah. I think for me, like, the other birthday tradition that we have is that the fact that we used to sing happy birthday, and we still do sing happy birthday off key.
Like, I love that.
Yeah, like obnoxiously off key. Like, think of someone who's just like
completely tone deaf
or drunk. Yeah, like, yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, and we would go like happy birthday, like really just dramatic.
Can you do that one more time? I think I can hear it once more.
I
love that.
I'm good. But basically, like, that's what we would do, and I think it was really fun because it would kind of take away the stress of like having to hit certain pitches, or I don't know, the happy birthday song has always been a weird song to sing, so we just have so much fun with it.
I love that. No, that's really sweet. Like I never really had, I feel like, set traditions, but as I grew up, I feel like things just happened so consistently that they became traditions without even recognizing it. But no, having little things that are like memorable, like not even traditions, but just things to pass down. I mean, I remember my mom coming in the morning to wake me up, and she always used to sing "You Are My Sunshine."
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Nice.
But like little things like that, having something from both like mom and dad, I definitely want to pass that down. That's why my parents actually save all my books.
Oh,
so
that's
all
so
my
cool.
baby books.
Wow.
A couple of them have gone to my little brother.
I think everyone's known, but I have always wanted kids. Like that's kind of a huge deal breaker. Like if you're not gonna raise a kid with me, I'm gonna raise it myself.
I love that.
I'm gonna just choose it. No. No. I was adopted, so I can make that joke. But
and I can't laugh at that, so
it's all good. Basically, what I mean by that is I completely understand where you're coming from, and I love that you already have such a good sense of what kinds of principles you want to hold in a family and how you want to raise your kids. I would love to have a boy and girl, and I think I just really like that balance of having both genders, but then also I really want to raise a boy because I really want them to understand what it's like to treat other people. And I'm seeing, and this is kind of interesting, but I'm seeing so much improvement and progression in the way people are teaching consent. In just like the smallest ways too. The Montessori I work for, shout out, they actually do this thing with kids like where they really respect their own bodies. And so they're teaching the kids like, no, my body. And they'll say that out loud. No. So they'll be like, my body. And it's super sweet. And I love that idea. So I think I'd really want both a girl and a boy. No, not like that. Not like that.